Hello, ladies and gents. Well, with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee around the corner, I thought, what better time to go back and look at Generation 1. While Pokemon celebrated its 20-year anniversary a couple years back, this year marks 20 years of Pokemon in North America. I can just think back to 7-year-old me now, playing Pokemon for the first time, trying to create an even and balanced team. Though what usually ends up happening is that my starter Pokemon usually ends up being 20 or 30 levels higher compared to the rest of my party. But that did get me thinking, could you beat Pokemon only using your starter? So today, I'm going to do 3 laps around Kanto with each starter and see if this is possible. Now there comes a minor problem. The starter Pokemon can't learn every single HM. The rule I'm going to go by is, though, if my Pokemon can learn an HM, I have to teach it to them. I'm going to be playing this like that's my only Pokemon, that's my only option. So, if they can learn the HM, I have to teach it to them. In the event where my Pokemon can't learn an HM that I need to progress through the game, I'll just go and catch something that can learn the HM, but make sure it's knocked out before any battles. Another rule I'm going to go by is no items, because I feel I would make this challenge way too easy and achievable with just about any Pokemon. Well, at least any Pokemon that can hit ghost types anyway. Because all you gotta do is have a couple of X attacks, maybe a dire hit or two, a couple of X speeds, heal a lot when your Pokemon gets low on health, and then you win! LOL. Rule number 3, no glitches or cheats, obviously. So, no missing no Mew, and even if I could do the missing no glitch, I probably wouldn't do it because I want to get the EVs, man. I feel like that's going to be important. And using a bunch of rare candies to level up to 100, well, it might make the game a little easier. I'm not going to be able to max out my stats. And last but not least, no outside help. It's just me and the game. Those are the rules I'm going to be going by, and with all that being said, let's get started. Let's start off with the very first Pokemon, according to the National Dex, Bulbasaur. The first part of the game is easy enough. It doesn't matter if you win against your rival in the first battle, and the second battle is completely optional. Sadly, after my rival got a very lucky critical hit, I lost my first battle. So I thought, you know what? It's time for redemption. Unfortunately, this was a lot easier said than done. You're at a severe type disadvantage in this battle. Luckily though, none of his Pokemon can hit you for super effective damage. The only thing you have to watch out for is Sand Attack, which, depending on your luck with RNG, can range from mildly annoying to extremely irritating. It took a bit of grinding and some luck, but I was eventually able to beat him. After plowing through Viridian Forest, we come to our first gym leader, Brock, who is, quite frankly, a walk in the park. Both his Pokemon have ×4 weaknesses to grass, so a couple of moments later, and I easily acquire my first gym badge. After plowing through Mount Moon and the endless horde of Zubat, I reach Misty, where I get my second gym badge just as easily. Now it's off to save Bill from his botched Pokemon experiment. But first, my rival's not going to let me get there so easily. However, this time around, my rival actually knows something that can hurt me pretty badly. His Charmander knows Ember. Not the strongest fire move, but still something you don't want to get hit with, along with Sand Attack. It did take me a couple of tries, but I was able to beat him. So after that, it's off to save Bill, run to the SSN, where once again, my rival just can't cut me some slack. And by this point, my Ivysaur now just evolved into a Venusaur, where it learned a very powerful move, Razor Leaf, arguably one of the most overpowered moves in Gen 1. Why, you may ask? High critical hit ratio. In Gen 1, if a move description is, this move has a high chance of hitting critical hits, it means you are almost guaranteed to land a critical hit. So suddenly, a base 55 move becomes a base 110 move, Stab. And with that, I easily sweep his team with Razor Leaf, as I do the same with Lieutenant Surge. And trust me, after spending 20 minutes scrummaging through trash cans, I think it's a well-deserved justice. Not even Giovanni is safe against my Razor Leaf fury. Erica, on the other hand, I had to rely on the much weaker cut, seeing as 2 of her Pokemon have a ×4 resistance to grass. but I still beat her on my first try. And my next few battles can be summed up like this. Heading back to Lavender Town to face my rival, I easily sweep his team with Razor Leaf. Gain my 5th gym badge against Koga, easily sweep his team with Razor Leaf. Off to Silphco, and I face my rival. Again, and again, I sweep his team with Razor Leaf. Giovanni, I sweep his team with Razor Leaf. Again. Sabrina for my 6th gym badge. While it was dangerously close, with just a sliver of HP, you got it, sweeped her team with Razor Leaf. I'm starting to think I should add an evolution clause as well, because this is a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Then I came up against Blaine, who was actually a lot easier than I thought he'd be. I mean, this can be because I am 15 levels higher than his strongest Pokemon, but still, I'm able to take out 2 of his Pokemon with Razor Leaf in one shot. His Rapidash goes down after 3 Razor Leaves, even after using the potion. And his Arcanine, who hit me with a Fire Blast, for critical damage, only takes me down to a little under half my health. And I'm easily taken down with Razor Leaf afterwards. On my first shot. Now it's time to face the strongest gym leader for my 8th badge, Giovanni. And he goes down just about as easy as I thought he would. Not even strong ground type Pokemon stand a chance against Razor Leaf. I mean Venusaur. You get the picture. 1 hit, 1 kill. And now I'm off to the Elite Four. But of course, my rival has get in my way. I get through 5 of his Pokemon rather easily with Razor Leaf, and then I come up against his Charizard. It was close, but unfortunately, I lost my first attempt. Attempt number 2, and once again, it's my Venusaur against his Charizard. Unfortunately, he managed to burn me, but that's not gonna stop me. I managed to survive the Flamethrower, I managed to survive the burn damage, I hit 1 more Razor Leaf, and he lives on 1 health! Come on! Yeah, I lost on my second attempt as well. It took me a couple more tries after that, but I did manage to beat him. And now we're finally at the Elite Four. I thought first I better stock up on some full restorers and some elixirs. So wait. Oh no. I can't buy elixirs? Seriously? Come on! Oh, damn it all. And I never picked up the fly HM, so I can't fly back into town and just go somewhere else to look for them. Oh, shoot. I really don't want to walk back through Victory Road. Well, I'm just gonna have to play the PP game. Okay, now we face the Elite Four. For realsies. And my first challenge is Lorelei. And surprise, surprise, I sweep her team with Razor Leaf. And Bruno, I sweep just as easily. Now it's on to Agatha and her gang of ghosts. Unfortunately, this is where the challenge really starts to take its toll. This one is all luck because you never really know what she's gonna do. She can confuse you, she can put you to sleep. You don't know what you're in for, it's all luck. She can even paralyze you. So, this battle did take me a few tries, but I was finally able to beat her with my Razor Leaf Fury. Now it's off to Lance. Here, after easily taking down his Gyarados and Aerodactyl, as for his trio of dragons, I exploited faulty Gen 1 AI. You see, his dragons know Psychic-type moves, which my Venusaur is weak against. Those Psychic moves being Barrier and Agility. So, while Lance thought he was hitting me for super effective damage, the only thing he was doing was raising his stats. Because, yes, Barrier and Agility are Psychic-type moves, they don't deal any damage. So, exploiting that, all I had to do was hit Toxic and watch his HP slowly and steadily go down. It took a little while, but I beat Lance my first try. And with that out of the way, now it's time to see my old friend again, my rival, Blue. And spoilers, this is by far the most difficult battle in this entire challenge. Which, yeah, it should be, but what makes this so hard is the fact that 4 of his Pokemon either resist me or can hit me for super effective damage. On my first attempt, his Pidgeotto hits me with Sky Attack, which deals a lot of damage, and after that, it was an uphill battle from there. I do manage to take out his Pidgeotto, and his Alakazam does fall to a Razor Leaf. Ride on again is no problem, but the real issue comes when he sends in his Gyarados. Unfortunately, at this point, I have barely any HP left, so yeah, I lose to his Gyarados my first attempt. It took me a few more attempts, and teaching my Venusaur Mega Drain, but I did eventually get past his Gyarados. And then he sends in his Charizard. And 1 Fire Blast later, I am out. A couple more attempts later, and this time around, for whatever reason, my rival decides to use Fire Spin instead of Fire Blast, which is annoying in its own right. I am down to the last little bit of my HP. It only lasts for 2 turns, thankfully, and I barely survive, and I finally take him down. And thus, after nearly 30 hours, I beat the game only using my Venusaur. You know, I actually thought this would be a lot harder. Out of the 10, I would give this a 3. Honestly, the gym leaders were all pretty easy, and the toughest challenge I faced throughout this playthrough was really my rival, since most of his team resisted my Venusaur. But other than that, with a bit of grinding and some good luck, it's not really that bad. Very doable. No time to celebrate though, as next up we have everyone's favorite fire, lizard, dragon thing, Charmander. As you can imagine with our first challenge, Brock, things get off to a bit of a rocky start. Whereas severe type disadvantage, but on the upside, Brock can't hit us for super effective damage because the only attacking moves he knows are normal type. So, I am able to slowly but surely wither away his HP by using Ember. It takes a little while, and on my first try, I defeat Brock and get my first gym badge. Before I challenge Misty, I decided to do some trading in the route of Australian City. Of course, before I do that, I need to face my rival. But of course, Pidgeotto knows Sand Attack, the absolute bane of my existence. So, I just have to kind of cross my fingers and pray that RNG lets me land a hit. Once I do land a hit, most of his Pokemon go down easily with Ember. When he sends out a Squirtle, I land a very lucky critical hit. And his Squirtle goes down almost as easy. With my training done, I go back to challenge Misty. While I was training up there, I found the TM for Seismic Toss, which absolutely saved me in this battle. For those of you who don't know, Seismic Toss deals the exact same amount of damage as your level. Thankfully, neither Star U or Star Me are known for being HP tanks, so I'm easily able to take down both her Pokemon after a couple of Seismic Toss, and acquire my second gym badge. Now before I challenge Lieutenant Surge, I need to grab Cut, and teach it to my Charmeleon. But of course, my rival stands in my way. Thankfully though, my rival isn't much of a problem. I'm easily able to take down his entire team by just burning him down. With my rival defeated and Cut attained, I now move on to challenge Lieutenant Surge. I get through his garbage trap shockingly rather quick, and I'm able to take down rather easily as well. Not long after that battle, my Charmeleon evolves into a Charizard, and now I'm off to face Giovanni. Unfortunately, his first Pokemon's Onix, but thankfully, much like Brock, his Onix doesn't know any rock-type attacks. Thank God. Much is the same with his Rhyhorn, and I'm easily able to take down his Kangaskhan. With Giovanni down, the Soul Scope retained, I'm off to face Erica, and I show why I don't let a Fire-type Pokemon into a greenhouse, as I easily sweep her team. Actually, this entire run's actually been much easier than I thought it'd be. Huh. Maybe I should have added an evolution clause. Oh well. Maybe for a future video. Heading back to Lavender Town, my next mission is to climb Pokemon Tower. But before I can do that, my rival of course has to stand in my way. And this battle, along with the next couple of gym badges, go down rather easily, as I'm able to sweep their entire team because my level is just so ridiculously high. Not even Giovanni, who theoretically should have a type advantage, can stand up against my Charizard, especially after I teach it Sword Stance. I easily sweep his team along with Blaine. With 7 gym badges attained, I'm off to face Giovanni once again to obtain my 8th. And, much to my surprise, I'm able to sweep his entire team without taking a sliver of damage. Heading off to Elite 4, once again my rival stands in my way. I easily swat him aside. Not even his mighty Blastoise and the ever-powerful Hydro Pump are able to take me down. With my rival out of the way, I can now face the Elite 4. First up is Lorelei. And honestly, her team goes down rather easily. That is until I get down to her Lapras. Unfortunately, her Lapras knows Blizzard. For those of you who don't know, in Gen 1, Fire types don't resist Ice type moves. And Flying type Pokemon are weak to Ice. So if Blizzard lands, it can hit me for some serious damage. The key word is, if it lands. Because Blizzard isn't exactly the most reliable move. And thankfully, Blizzard misses and I take down her Lapras. Bruno goes down easily, despite him having 2 Onix. Seriously, does no one think about teaching their Rock-type Pokemon Rock-type moves? And Agatha isn't much harder either. My first real challenge comes in the form of Lance. My big mistake was trying to set up a Sword Stance on his Gyarados. Lance takes advantage of my stupidity with a Hydro Pump, which nearly takes me out. But thankfully, I'm able to take out his Gyarados before that can happen. His 2 Dragonairs go down easily, and I'm able to take out his Aerodactyl with 2 Flamethrowers. But not before getting my HP dangerously low. Sadly, I didn't have enough strength to take down his Dragonite in one hit, and he completely annihilates me with Hyper Beam, making this the first time I've had to rematch someone. The second time around, I'm not as stupid, and I have a lot of HP left when I come to face his Dragonite. His Dragonite misses his Slam, however, and I'm able to take it down after 2 strengths. Now it's off to face my final challenge, my rival. Again, his Pidgeotto goes down after 2 cuts, even after using a full restore. His Alakazam goes down after 1 strength. His Rhydon goes down after a Flamethrower, followed by a strength. His Arcanine goes down 1 shot. His Executor goes down after a Flamethrower. And his Blastoise goes down after 1 strength. So I easily sweep his team and become the new champion yet again. This one was actually a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Honestly, I've always been told that starting with Charmander is like playing the game on hard mode, but I found this to be a lot easier than I did with Venusaur. So I'm gonna give this 3 out of 10. However, we are not done yet, folks. We still have 1 more lap to do around Kanto, this time with Squirtle. Brock is no issue at all, but what surprised me, however, is the fact that none of his Pokemon went down in 1 hit, despite them being ×4 weak to water. I forgot just how pathetically weak Bubble is. Next up is my rival, and unfortunately things do not work out well for me here. His Pidgeotto hits me with Sand Attack. A lot. And thus, towards midway through the match, I started missing. A lot. And because of that, he is able to slowly but surely wither away my HP, and I lose at my first attempt. Don't worry, things work out much better for me the second time around, as I am able to beat him. After grabbing the TM for Seismic Toss, I go off to face Misty, and it goes about as easily as it did with both Bulbasaur and Charmander. Seismic Toss OP! Once again, we face our rival, and after spamming Seismic Toss and Water Gun over and over, I easily take him down. Now it's off to face Lieutenant Surge. His Voltorb and his Pikachu go down easily enough. They're not exactly the most durable Pokemon in the world, but the real problem comes with the Raichu. And after Lieutenant Surge demands Raichu to hit me with the Thunderbolt, I go down my first attempt. Attempt number 2. My heart sinks a little when I see he survives my Seismic Toss with 1 HP. My heart sinks even more when he once again tries to give me the Thunderbolt. But thankfully, this time around, I survived the Thunderbolt with just a shred of HP. 1 more hit later, I take down his Raichu, and I get the Thunder Badge. Next up, I head to Celadon City to face Giovanni for the first time. Unsurprisingly, his ground-type Pokemon, sans Kangaskhan, stand no chance against my recently evolved Blastoise. But sensing the impending doom that is Erica, I decided it might be best to head back to Lavender Town to climb Pokemon Tower to raise my level a little bit before I face Erica. But before I can do that, once again, I had to face my rival. And at this point, he's no trouble at all. I defeat my rival, climb Pokemon Tower, then head back to Celadon City to face Erica, much to my dismay. Unfortunately, despite the 20 level age gap between us, she hits me with Sleep Powder and completely annihilates me with Razor Leaf. On my next attempt, I get a very lucky critical hit, and I knocked out her Victory Bell before it can hit a Sleep Powder on me. Her Tangela and Vileplume go down rather easily after that. And with that, I obtain my 4th gym badge. Koga goes down rather easily. Mind you, it did help that his Weezing used self-destruct, and the fact that I had the bulk to survive the hit really helped as well. So yeah, 5th badge easily obtained. Next up is my rival, and unfortunately, I made the ever dumb mistake of facing my rival before having a chance to heal up. So, because of that, I lose my first attempt. Second time around, I make sure that I heal up though, and I'm easily able to take him down. Next up is Sabrina, and thanks to the TM I found while wandering through Silphco, I'm easily able to sweep her team with Earthquake. And as for Blaine and his fire types, well, I'm easily able to drown him out. The same thing can be said with Giovanni. And with that, I get my last 2 gym badges and head off to Elite 4. Is what I would say if my rival would stop getting in my way. I easily take out my rival. Someone who doesn't go down easily, however, is Lorelei. Why? Because my Blastoise lacks the raw power to take down her Pokemon in one hit, and her Dewgong knows rest. It takes a little bit of patience and some luck, but I'm able to slowly but surely wither away at Lorelei and her Pokemon, and win on my first attempt. Thankfully though, the next 2 members of Elite 4, Bruno and Agatha, do go down rather easily, thanks to Surf and Earthquake respectively. Problems start to arise however once I get to Lance. Unfortunately, stupid me forgot to grab some elixirs and ethers before coming to Elite 4. So yep, I had absolutely 0 way of restoring my PP once I got to Lance, and it was getting dangerously low. I get through Gyarados, his 2 Dragonairs, and Aerodactyl alright, but problems start to arise once I get to Dragonite. My PP is dangerously low. I get a very lucky critical hit though, but it lives on 1 health and he uses a Hyper Potion. Knowing very well I do not have the PP to live through this, I knew right then and there I was gonna have to rely on Struggle. Though I can't help but feel that Lance started taking pity on me in my poor situation, because after I lost all my moves, he started spamming Barrier and Agility. I did manage to win, but it was a hollow victory. So now I very unenthusiastically come up to my rival. Sensing my impending doom, I don't even try, despite the fact that I healed. Even though he can probably knock me out with just about anything, he decides to use Whirlwind first, which of course does absolutely nothing. Then, something weird happens. Out of all the moves he could use, he demands his Pidgeot to use Mirror Move. So he started copying my Struggle, making my job a lot easier. So I somehow managed to knock out his Pidgeot with Struggle. Next up is Alakazam, and I was like, okay, he can hit me with just about anything now, and he'll knock me out. I get a very lucky critical hit, but then he uses Recover. And yeah, after that it was weird. He uses Barrier, and I'm down to the last little bit of my HP, so I take advantage of his stupidity, use Struggle again, and I knock out his Alakazam. Unfortunately, I get knocked out from the recoil, but let the record show, I knocked out 2 of his Pokemon with Struggle. On my second attempt, I do actually have some PP remaining, so I have to rely on Struggle, and because of that, I make it all the way up to his Venusaur. Unfortunately though, I just did not have the means to survive the deadly Mega Drain Earthquake combo, And once again, I lose my second attempt. It did take a couple more tries, but eventually I had the raw power to take on his Venusaur head to head. And 2 earthquakes later, I am your new champion. What surprised me the most though is that out of all 3 of the star Pokemon, I thought this one was the hardest. I definitely need more rematches in this one than needed with the other 2. So, I'll give this a 5 out of 10. While this was definitely a lot harder than your typical run of these games, it's never at one point did it feel impossible. But of course, there's still one more Gen 1 game, guys. There's still one more game that I can do this challenge with. One more game, one more starter, one more time. Join me next time, guys, as we see if we can beat Pokemon Yellow only using our Pikachu. Look forward for that video in the next couple of weeks. And with all that being said, I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.